Hi.
Okay, I'm not the demo for this movie, and I loved it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I watched the first one. I watched the
Yay.
There is something about you. There's a confidence that just leaps off the screen.
Oh.
Do you feel that inside? Have you always felt that?
I haven't always felt that. I mean, I definitely think, we all go through kind of like our awkward, like weird, like uncomfortable with yourself phase. And I still constantly feel that all the time. But I so believe in Lara Jean's heart, and I so believe in the story that I love it so much. And so if that translated to you, I hope it did. But I don't know. I'm confident in the story. That's what maybe is the confidence that you might see in me on screen.
So is there something like, it snaps into you just before they roll that you're like, okay, I'm her now, and I'm going to feel like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the first movie, she had really, really long hair, and then the second and the third, I had chopped off my hair for a show that I was on. So when I put in my hair, the long pieces, that's kind of when I started to feel more like her. And then, right before we, roll, it's just like she's just dreamy and like wide-eyed and like thoughtful, and just right before we'd roll, I just like take in the world and be like, I can't believe I'm making this movie. And so maybe that's why you see her on screen like this, because it's really me like, wow, I'm so happy to be here.
But don't you think you're helping young women out there to,
I hope so.
to have that confidence? Have you heard from fans? I'm sure you have. What do you hear?
I mean, yeah, my recent experience, I went to Vietnam with Mrs. Obama and Julia Roberts. We went I'm Vietnamese, and we went to go listen to young girls as they pursue their education against all odds. And a lot of these young women in Vietnam shared their stories with me and how, they learn English from watching the movie in their classrooms. They tell me their stories, and I went to Korea, and women here, like just hearing their stories about the way that they've grown up and feeling like they're represented on the screen and seeing like and kind of seeing themselves, like those are those most amazing stories. Like, I mean, I can't believe people watch this movie to learn English. That's amazing to me. Like, wow. So yeah, I hear great stories every day, and that's the greatest part of the job, is that people do have these stories to share with me.
Now, those who have not seen the first movie, they don't need to have seen it to see the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch up, but it is a fun way to spend a weekend watching both.
For sure, yeah.
So for those who don't know, what happens in the second movie?
What happens in the second movie?
Yeah,
so much. Well, I mean, listen, the second movie is a lot about Lara Jean growing, like finding her voice as a young woman and growing up. And then throw in a love triangle. So you have John Ambrose and Peter Kavinsky, and it's kind of finding out what and who you love, and it's your love triangle, and I think it serves that really well. Like, I watched the movie last night. I was at the fan screening, and I was like, I don't even know who I am voting for. I'm like, what's happening? But yeah, it's your classic love triangle with a fun twist.
The fan screening. I was at a critic screening, and I was hearing ahs and the people who are just reacting and loving.
Yeah.
That has to be gratifying.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's the best thing ever. That's why I wanted to stay for the fan screening, because I don't, like, you don't get to sit in a theater and hear it. And so that was the first time I got to do that for the sequel, and it was just so gratifying. And I love their, like, gasps, because that's what moved me the most, was hearing their gasps when they think, like, Lara Jean is doing something sweet, because I feel like people just genuinely want to give her a hug, right? And I love that, because that creates like this softness in the world that can sometimes seem so stiff and rigid, and watching it with a group of people is just like a huge love fest. So it was amazing, and I'm so grateful.
I'm done, but I want nothing but good things for you. You are
Thank
you are
you.
fantastic. I love what you do. Thank you.
Thank you so
A
much.
pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.